Hello and welcome to our podcast. We're Sky2shore, a climate campaign. I'm Nina.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Oscar.
And today we're joined by Grace Blakeley, writer, economist, and a leading voice on how capitalism, politics, and the climate crisis fit together. We're here to talk about her work, climate activism, and what we need to confront in order for a fairer, greener world. So tell us a bit about yourself, Grace.
Hi guys, thank you so much for having me. As you said, I am an author. I write about kind of politics and economics and anti-capitalism, basically.
So you recently joined the Green Party. Could you tell us a little bit about how they're working to combat climate change?
Yeah, so I joined the Green Party a while back now to vote for Zach Polansky, who I knew before he started running to be leader of the Green Party. But I think what's really exciting about Zach's agenda is it's kind of like this eco-socialist agenda. So realizing that we need to change the kind of systems that underpin the way we produce energy, the way we transport things, rather than just trying to change individual behavior. And it's really central to my own climate action as well, and how I think we need to we need to understand environmentalism.
Yeah, so definitely going off of that, you're quite a strong critique of how capitalism handles the climate crisis. Can you explain why this is a problem and what is your solution to this? How can democracy help climate action?
That's a big question. So, think about the development of industrial capitalism. It was incredibly intertwined with the use of fossil fuels in industrialization. And today, as we transition to renewables, we're seeing a push for this kind of green capitalism, right? But we're already seeing loads of problems with this because capital and fossil fuels are so deeply interconnected.
What kind of action do you think is needed to challenge their power effectively?
Great question. So the big problem with fossil fuels today, it's that they are using their power to really influence our democracies and our politicians. And you see very, very close links between big fossil fuel companies, political parties, and the state all over the world, because we need to find ways of balancing out the power of the fossil fuel companies and their influence over politicians, which really requires us to all get much more involved in politics in one way or another, whether it's joining a political party and pushing those politicians to stop accepting meetings with fossil fuel companies and instead listen to what the vast majority of people want, which is action on climate breakdown.
What can ordinary people do to help climate solutions and climate action?
Get involved in politics, right? Because it's not just enough to change your own individual behavior. We have to think about how we change society. Start demanding, writing to your MP, demanding that they act on climate breakdown.
In your opinion, what is missing from mainstream conversations about climate policy?
I think it really is that link, as you were saying, to how we live our lives every day. We really need a conversation about how investing in decarbonisation isn't just good for the planet. It's also good for all of us. And I think we really need to shift the conversation away from telling people off towards framing this as something that just makes sense.
Yeah. About your own climate activism, what forms of action do you believe make the biggest impact right now?
I mean, right now, I think it changes from time to time, right? And right now, I'm just super excited about the Green Party. They're overtaking Labour in the polls.
How's climate justice and economic justice so connected?
They really, really very much are. Firstly, because, as I've said, failing to act on climate breakdown is going to not just harm our own economies in the rich world, but also plunge millions of people into poverty. Yeah. So clean air being a really significant part of that struggle for economic justice, and one which disproportionately again affects poorer people. And investing in decarbonisation is one of those things that we can do to the material world that balances out our economy, because everywhere in the country needs this kind of investment, and which does so sustainably for a long period of time. So I think decarbonisation creates so many opportunities to rebalance our economy and make it less unfair.
What gives you hope when you look at the climate movement today, things like that?
I honestly feel so hopeful looking at the climate movement today. It's been a couple of really tough years, but now I see not just green parties and politicians doing really well all over the world, but also amazing new campaigns that are achieving wins.
But as a last question, if you had the power to implement one climate policy overnight with no political resistance, what would you choose and why?
I think keep it in the ground. Stop all new fossil fuel exploration. Just like stop the development of new oil fields.
Thank you so much,
Awesome.
Grace. It's been
Thank
really,
you.
really
It's
interesting.
been lovely to have you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you
you so
very
much,
much.
guys. It's been great chatting to you.
Awesome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.